Hello, everybody. Welcome, 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 one and welcome all. It's Friday. It's SketchUp Live Day. I'm psyched. I'm Matt. I'm here, and I'm the co-host. And
And
Aaron
I'm
is the
Aaron. I'm
host.
not Matt.
That's right. How's it going, everybody? Happy to have you here. We are in new digs. We are in a new environment here in our fancy brand color backgrounds. Yeah, trying something out different today. So if you see the stream looking a little different, that's what that is. But
Because it is.
yeah, it's different.
Oh, yeah.
But hey, we're always trying to mix it up and do something a little fun and different, which this stream actually is a little fun and different too, topic wise. So
Let's just honor Matt's amazing segue right there. That new and different, and let's remake a classic building. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, we don't want the old out with the old, in with the very cool and very new. That's what you're here for today with some SketchUp modeling. So
yeah.
we wanted to say hi to everybody in the chat. We got people from UK, Poland, New York, Kentucky, all over. There's so many places to say Canada, everywhere. The global SketchUp audience is here, so we appreciate you being here. And yeah, I think not really too much upfront to say besides let's kind of get into the actual the show of it. So
Yeah.
wherever you're watching, in the description is there's a link to the forum thread that talks about the process of doing the stream, because it's a little different than normal. Usually we have like something that we model for 2 hours, a predetermined thing. In this case, we have a reimagining. Aaron is bringing his imagination to the stage instead of just copying what he sees on an image. So that's exciting. I'm psyched for that one. And so you mentioned earlier, a little teaser, but so you're taking a famous structure and reimagining it in a different style.
That's right. We took 4 models that we've done previously over the last several years on the stream, and we put them in front of you guys on our forum, and we said, pick one of these and let's reimagine it in a different style. So we had the Burj Khalifa, Big Ben, Empire State Building, and Eiffel Tower. And we said, gave you guys a couple days to vote, and overwhelming majority, I don't remember, 58%, more than half, came back with the same thing, which was, let's do the Eiffel Tower. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the Eiffel Tower. I have the model that I did, I don't know, a couple years ago. And we're going to take it and we are going to reimagine it in a new, different way. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a little design off the cuff. It's going to be a little tips and tricks on using SketchUp. It's going to be a little imagination. It's going to be a fun way to spend some time on a Friday.
Pure imagination. Love to hear it. And yeah, as always, we welcome any input from you folks in the chat as well. So if you have any things that you'd like to see as part of the reimagining, then please let us know. And yeah,
let's do this.
Let's do it.
Well, we should probably also give a little bit of a nod to, Matt called out things are looking a little different. So we are working through a brand new system here. This is the tool we've been using to stream to multiple platforms. Also has this ability to kind of act as a central hub for our whole stream, where we can just put everything in there and have it come out. So that's what we're doing here. We're trying to use Restream, try something brand new, and we'll see how it goes. So we're trying a new thing on our stream. We've never done this kind of stream before. We're trying some new software to stream, which we've never actually used before. Mm-hmm. I'm going to model left-handed and blindfolded because that'll be fun. Okay, that was a joke.
Bring everything, throw everything at the wall, see what sticks.
But I am also using a brand new 3D mouse. So this right here is the Space Mouse Pro Wireless from 3D Connection. You guys know I usually use a Space Mouse Enterprise. It's my one of my favorite pieces of hardware. But we're going to try this one out. It's works very similar. It's wireless, so I can pick it up and show you like this, and it's easy. I also throw it in my bag when I travel.
Yeah, there you go. No strings attached. That's cool. Very
That's
shiny.
right.
Shiny and brand
It's
new.
got the same puck in the middle, same modifier keys around the side, and then it's only got 4 buttons across the top. But I found out that the software, everything I mapped to my enterprise automatically showed up here, which is pretty cool,
Oh, nice.
including shortcuts 1, 2, 3, and 4 from the other mouse show up as 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So, which is pretty cool. So 5 through 12, don't need those. But yeah, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be fun. It's gonna be, yeah. I don't know what else new we could add. I mean, you and I could both go somewhere else and get new people.
Yeah, maybe that's next week. One thing we can do that's new is we can highlight comments. Hey, and Patrick on YouTube says, I love the title Imagineer. And today you are an Imagineer officially. You don't have to be in
I
Disney
like it.
World to get that title.
All right. I'll try to live up to that title because I hold that title in great esteem. So yeah, so let's do this thing. Let's hop in. I'm going to share some of my thoughts, and like Matt said, a big part of this is I want to hear from you guys. I do not want to just sit here in a bubble and poke around and do stuff. I want to get your input, hear your thoughts. But I have some thoughts that I want to share to begin with. So one thing was I went and spent some time reading about the Eiffel Tower, and the one thing what I was chasing down was what style architecture would this be qualified as? And really, I mean, everybody kind of agrees it's not a specific style. It is a industrial revolution. It is an artifact of the Industrial Revolution. It is made of steel girders, beams. It's very much a big chunk of metal and rivets, which is very intentional and a sign of the times, right? Because that's kind of what was going on back then. Industry, right? Industry, same thing. But yeah, so I wanted to come up with something like how do we change this? So we were talking about, do we go for a specific architectural style or movement or something like that? But I'm thinking like what's going to be more fun, I think, is just going in and trying to imagine this kind of the opposite of what it is. I want to keep the profile. I want somebody to look at it and go, that reminds me of the Eiffel Tower. So I think there's some parts of that are very important. I mean, one is the swoop of the shape. It's wide at the base, and then it kind of swoops up to almost vertical. We got a kind of an arch underneath. The 4 sides are the same. I'll stick with that too. We got this arch going underneath that airplanes have flown through before. They weren't supposed to, but that happened, which is kind of cool. Yeah.
Look at you doing research.
I did. I learned things.
That's a kind of fun fact you find when you look
seriously
up stuff before the stream.
Like, wait a minute, wait, what? I gotta click on that video.
That wasn't even that was before Red Bull too. Nowadays,
right,
you can see Red Bull in it, but
yeah, now it's just a thing somebody does for views today. So it's got these 2 platforms. I want to kind of stick with that idea. But beyond that, what I'd love to do, some people posted some pictures on the forum of kind of different ideas. And the one I really liked was kind of a futurist look, like something shiny, sci-fi, but potentially still fabricatable, but I think leaning more into shapes that would be easier to fabricate now than back then. So maybe like, a lot more arcs and that kind of thing. Maybe making the whole thing look like it's one big piece of steel, that kind of thing. So I'm thinking like that, like organic metal, futurist kind of look. I don't know, when we get done, maybe it'll a specific title or architectural theme will apply to it. But right now, I'm just more thinking about the feel of it that's going to be different. So that's kind of the direction we're going to go. So again, as you guys have ideas as we're doing this, just throw them out into the chat. Good ones, like I said. Matt's going to bring them up and put them in the on screen, and we'll talk about them. But yeah, let us know what you think. Also, let us know what you think of this platform as we do this. How does this work for you? It's as we look at it, it's a little bit cleaner. We're got a little bit higher level production than whatever I can whip up in my home office and also monitor as I stream and model. So a lot of advantages to this. So love to hear how you guys are receiving it.
Yeah, Yeah, we're psyched. One thing that's you said it got so many more votes than the alternatives, and the original post that you had was like taking classic architecture and reimagining it. This is kind of the outlier of those, Burj Khalifa and
Mhm.
Empire State Building and stuff, because it's not really a building, right? It's more of like somebody on the forum said this. It's more of like a kind of an engineering showcase
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
rather
Absolutely.
than an actual building. But obviously, it's so iconic, and I'm excited
Yeah.
to see it reimagined, brought to life in this, swoopy steel style.
Ooh, I like that. Right. That swoopy steel. All right. We have a direction. Um, yeah, I mean that was somebody called that out too. That like the things we picked weren't really classic architecture. The Burj Khalifa is a few years old. Not necessarily classic, but really, I'll be honest with you guys. The reason I picked the four that I picked is they all had similar shapes and they look good lined up to vote on.
Yeah, you don't want any really wide building kind of throwing
Right.
off the whole aspect ratio.
Right. We had like the Tower of London and the Colosseum were in there too, but like these four towers all not to scale, but just the same height, same similar aspect ratio. It looked good. It was a marketing decision. I apologize. Um, but yeah,
Aesthetics first.
that's right.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this thing. Let's run with this. All right. So first thing I want to do is I do not want to model this whole tower. Not because I'm lazy. In a smart way, I don't want to do that. I want to model a quarter of this because all four sides are the same. Actually, when I modeled this, I modeled 1/8 of it. So if we look at this, I have this chunk right here, and this chunk just repeated, it mirrored, and then radial array 4 times. And that's how I built this original model. So I'm thinking like let's do something similar, but I think I want to see the whole facade of one piece. So we'll make one, we'll put it around 4 times, and then just start kind of carving away is really what I'm thinking. So I'm gonna start with a square. I want it to be, like I said, I want this to be about the same footprint. It is a square, which of course it should be, no question about it. All right, I'm gonna slide that over here like this. I'm gonna pull this up to the very tippy top. All right, now we have a box that is the same size as the original building. I'm going to take this face right here, right click, and just make it a component. I have this weird performance anxiety that comes up anytime I have to name a component. Like there's a thing that in me that's like, what are you going to call it? Everybody's watching. Hurry up, type. Don't mistype it.
Yeah. It's the same as whenever somebody's over your shoulder watching you type. It's like, this is, yeah, there's no chance I get this right without
Nope.
having a lot of
Yeah,
problems.
I did that last time too. I did not have the replace the selected. All right.
There's a tip right off the bat. Replace
Yeah,
selected with component.
do that. Definitely do that. All right, so I'm gonna take that, delete it. And then I didn't do this, so I'm going to take this. Oops, just this. I'll turn that 45 degrees. And I'm going to grab that. Another one. And I'm going to turn that edge 45 degrees. And then I'm going to close this triangle up. And I'm going to grab that, cut it, come into context, edit, paste in place. All right, so now I have a quarter of this model. So I can take this and I can go like this, option, copy this, 3x. All right, so I know the top is open, but as we do this, we'll push it in.
Nice. Yeah, CJ Ryan on YouTube said, this box would be great if you ever need to ship the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, look at that.
Perfect packaging.
Oh, it's like IKEA for national monuments. Love it. All right. I'm going to throw you guys all off and go hit this S command right here.
Early, 15 minutes in.
We're trying new things. This is what this stream's all about. And it calls the new tower. All right. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to, I can't remember if I mapped what I mapped these buttons to. Oh, that's undo. Apparently this is undo and redo and not hide and show rest of model. So I'll have to keep that in mind. So I'm just going to go up to view, component edit, hide similar components. I want to get rid of those for a second because what I want to do is I want to come in here, pull this up to here, and then I want to make a fluid arc. So obviously this tower is made out of mostly straight pieces of steel. So it's kind of a segmented situation. What I want to do is I want to go from here up to, here with just one swoop like that. So here's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to go reference. And again, I'm not going to, these numbers aren't carved in stone or anything like that, but it gives me an idea. So about there is where I want my swoop to go to. So I'm going to go, trying to think what's the best way to intersect that. I'm just going to draw a plane right here real quick to intersect. And that's the piece I want. There's so many ways to do that kind of stuff, to intersect things. And sometimes I just come up with what is the quickest and easiest for the thing that I am doing.
Right, yeah, so lines are free, so use
that's
them.
Right. I'm going to bring this straight up. It's right here. All right, so now I know what I want. There we go. So what I want to do now is I want to start here and I want to come down not in a single arc. I don't want this, right? I don't want that. Because if you look at the shape, you can see how it stays straight more and then it kind of shoots out and then it's more exaggerated down here. It's not a smooth, perfect arc like that. So I'm going to use a different way to draw an arc. This is an extension, but it is a free extension. It is actually from the SketchUp team. So if you haven't seen this or don't use it, Bezier curve is just from SketchUp. It works just like I don't know why that cursor is like that. But what I can do here is I can say, okay, give me a more drastic curve down at the bottom and up at the top. Oops, I did that backwards. Because I'm going to go from here. Let's go from the bottom up to the top. And then we'll pull the bottom out like this, kind of. And then the top, I can choose to say, like by the time it gets to about here, I want it to just be perfectly straight up. And I can go like that. There we go. So that's going to be the shape of my organic tower. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to make it a group temporarily. What did I just do?
Yeah, speaking of the organic tower, one benefit of the Bezier, I feel like a lot more things in nature are Bezier curves, or look more like this looks like a parabola to me, but are more parabolic than, just like pure arcs like you showed the alternative. So yeah, this is already off to an organic start. Love to see it with the Bezier.
All right. So I'm going to take that out. Uh-oh, I'm broken. I can fix that. All right, I'm going to turn off everything else and just weld that back up.
Nice. I love the modifier for deselect. I feel like I use it all the time.
That is a good one. Yeah. I think that's one of those things we've talked on here and on other videos about like what makes a master modeler or advanced modeler versus, I think, when I think about it, that's definitely a piece that we haven't talked about before, but that ability to filter selection so you have exactly what you want to modify, I think that's a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. And I'm just thinking how to best intersect this. I think I'm just going to do this. I'm going to pull this up like that. I brought up half. feel like I have to. What am I doing? I'm just doing stuff right now. Nice. Let's get this nice and clean. Actually, don't need this either anymore. Just need this face.
Nice.
Get rid of that.
This is ready for Tony Hawk to drop in on.
That's right.
Speaking of Red Bull.
Yeah. All right, there we go. So now I can take this all the way up to here. Boop. Grab that. Make it a group. And now I have 2 groups. I believe they are both solid. Solid. Yes. So I take both these solid groups now. I can go to Tools, Solid Tools, and do Trim. Intersect. The intersection of both of them. Maybe. As I said with total confidence, yes, it is intersect. I'm going to do intersect. Okay, there we go. Okay. We're off to a start. Cool. All right. Yeah, I'm going to do a lot with solid tools, especially to start out, I think. Because the next thing I want to do is I want to kind of exaggerate this shape, right? So it kind of goes straight up and then has this arc that comes over. I want to kind of exaggerate that, give it almost like the Greek letter of Om looking, you know, and I want those bottom parts to come in more. So it'll shrink the size of the arc on the bottom, but it'll give it a more exaggerated tube feel down there. And I want to do that by coming over here. I'm going to draw a reference image. So I'm going to come straight up. I'm going to come up to, so this is a nice thing too. This is nice. When I go in here and I start to draw stuff, what I can do is lock the axes. So I hit the up arrow, so it's locked to vertical. Now I don't have to keep this on screen. I can just zoom in over here and say, bring that up to about here. And then when I click, I know that this height is the same as that height. Now I'm going to bring just a reference plane is all I'm making right now, like that. I'm going to make that into a group temporarily. And then I think what I'm going to do is put in a circle like that. I'm making stuff up. I'm going to squash that down this way, and I'm going to start to pull it up this way. And then maybe I'll pull it in a little this way. So just to get that arc that I'm looking for. You can check to see how that, I think that's going to work pretty good. All right. Going to explode this to make all that intersect, and then I can just get rid of this extra geometry right here. Then I can take this, look at it from above, flip it this way, erase it. All right, let's grab that. And then weld it. Wait a minute. Oh, it's already welded. I mean,
pre-welded.
It's already welded. I knew that.
This is the Eiffel Tower. A lot of stuff is pre-welded, probably.
It's a fabrication thing, dude. All right, grab that, make it a group, and then slide it straight back in. I drew that originally off of that middle line, so I can be assured that it's lined up with the middle. That's one of the reasons I drew that first line in there. That looks pretty good. You know, I should just acknowledge what I'm doing here. I'm going to do some things. Let's go ahead and go to Tool Palettes and turn on our Solid Tools palette so this can just be here.
Convenient.
You know what? I kind of noticed that I'm doing this. I tend to model over here on the right half of the screen because normally my head's right here. I don't have to do that anymore. I can take advantage of the full screen, blow it up, fill it up, and I'm not getting in the way. So it's kind of fun.
Nice. Full screen mode over here.
Whew.
This is great.
Let's save. Cool. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to say I want to subtract this from this. So I'm going to, okay, I know it's subtract, but I honestly don't know the icons very well. Subtract. You know, I'm batting 1,000, even though I keep saying I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, yeah. See?
Look at that.
That's what I like. I like that a lot. Cool.
Even just like that, it already looks cooler.
It does look cooler. Come
Hey,
on. Catch up,
we're
Paris.
designing for the future, you know.
That's right. All right. Let's keep rolling. I kind of feel like I want to do the exact same thing right here, but I want to do kind of more like a pear shape, have it round over like this, kind of come down and then kind of bulge out and give me the same thing at the bottom here where I'll put the platform. So I'm going to punch that shape first and then I'll lay the platform in to meet it, I think. And yeah, I keep saying I think because like I said, making it all up, folks. All right. So I'm going to go from here. I'm going to drag this over till I hit the middle, which is right here. Then I'm going to draw a vertical line straight up to the bottom of that. All right. So now I know this is that shape. I should probably also do this. I'm gonna trace this shape like that, but then I'm also going to do that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So then I have some reference for the window. Again, I don't want to necessarily nail that perfectly and line everything up so it's exactly matches, but I want to get about the same shape. So I'm going to grab that right there, grab it from right here, option copy that, drop it right here. Cool.
Nice. We did have a question from the chat from Chip Cookie. What is the latest trick, tool, or extension that you have discovered?
That I have discovered.
Well, at the beginning of the stream, we talked about your new space mouse. Not that that's a extension, but I guess it could be considered a tool.
Yeah, that's definitely a tool. Yes, that is true. I also, let me think about this. I feel like all right, so I'm as usual, I'm going to be honest with you guys, even though it makes me look not awesome, but I'm going to be honest. I have lately been learning a lot about layout. And I have spent some time learning about things like scrapbooks and auto text and I guess it's stuff that I knew, but I just haven't spent enough time in layout where some of these things that are not difficult to do, but make layout so much quicker and easier to use that they feel like revelations to me. I'm like, I already know this. I did a video on this 6 years ago, but I just haven't dedicated time to it. So yeah, I would say the one thing that has like the light bulb moments that I have had in the last month or so have all been related to layout tools. And nothing, like I said, nothing subterranean, nothing magic or hidden, just basic functionality, and it's awesome. I'm really enjoying being in layout the last month or so.
Nice. Yeah, it's always good to get a refresher on the fundamentals, you know.
Yeah.
Keep your game polished up.
Yeah, absolutely. Good question though. Thanks, Chip. All right, so there we go. I'm going to take that and I'm going to weld the edges on that because I just want it to be one big piece. Push that through like that. Same thing. Make it a group and slide it on through like that. Cool. And then again, subtract that from here. All right, let's step out and see how that. All right.
Your thoughts?
I'm getting there. I'm getting somewhere. I think the thing I don't like about it, I'm going to do a couple times. I think I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. go in the middle, make the whole thing larger. I don't love, make it a little wider. This is the je ne sais quoi portion of the stream where
Beautiful
I do
stream.
things and I don't know really why. I just feel they need to be done. No, let me show you what I don't like about this, because I'm going for it's a manufactured look, right? I got hard edges right now. I have very intentional shapes. They are more flowy and curvy than the original, but it's getting this feeling like it's starting to feel a little too monolithic to me. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So that looks cool, but when I do this, I don't really like these chunks right here. You know what I mean? Like it feels like exactly what it is, like a hole just got punched. I want to come in here and I want to soften these things up so that this is like, so if I'm looking through here, I don't see this inside wall, I just see through to the other side. I don't know how to do that, but I have some thoughts. I'm gonna try a thing. What could possibly go wrong? All right. I'm gonna go through to like there. And then from there, I'm going to hit Option and bring that out to here. And then here, I'm going to take this and I'm going to make this like significantly wider. And I think that is going to give me the look I want. I think. Because I don't want to like chop it off. I want to kind of have a nice thing there. I don't know. I'm going to try it. Let's see what happens.
I think you'll need to, interior face from the
yes.
push pull. Make quick work of that with a Space Mouse.
There's lots of things I like about Space Mouse, and I'm just a fan of 3D Connection. It's not like they're, got me in their pocket or anything, or good coffee. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've heard of 3D Connection before. No, I'm honestly just an advocate of their hardware. I've bought my own 3D mouse originally. I really enjoyed it, and I've told many designers that that's the thing that for me it was a step forward for me in designing. So just a big fan of their stuff for sure. But that's one of the things I really like is when you have the 3D mouse set like this. So we were talking about this too, because last time Matt modeled, he had his 3D mouse and he had it set to, is it helicopter mode?
Drone.
Yeah. Where you fly around. Yeah, nobody knows what a helicopter is anymore. Drone mode.
Yeah.
And drone controls the camera, moving the camera. So the bigger the model you get, the less you move every time you move it. I have mine set to object mode. So it's as if this thing that I'm have in my hand is spinning around. So regardless of what size it is, the relative movement is always the same. So the speed to spin around a thing is the same, whether it's an inch tall or, hundreds of feet tall.
Yeah, I switched mine to that after that stream because it's for modeling, it's a lot more convenient. Although I will say for like, if you're trying to represent an actual fly through of a real space, like a cityscape or something, like having it that you're actually at the real, like drone mode will keep you at the real scale of the model, so that it feels a little more realistic than you're in a spaceship going
absolutely
UFO mode. But totally. For modeling, it's so much nicer to be able to whip around wherever you want super quick. So,
and this is the other thing that popping inside a shape, because your movement is just relative to this space. Popping your head inside is just literally moving forward and going in. So a lot of people don't know this, but when you scroll with the mouse, it zooms in on the pixel that your mouse is over. So I get to this point and I keep scrolling. Then eventually I get so close to it that it goes, it's the same inside and out, and you pop your head through. But there's this spot where it's like scroll. So it's difficult, whereas the mouse, you can just go inside. So that's the spot that I love it, is with 3D printing, going inside to check, make sure things are solid, delete things from the inside. Very quick, very easy.
Yeah, that side profile almost looks like a ghost, and it's like you're a ghost because you can just walk through walls.
It's like, oh, I made a Snapchat logo. All right, let's take that. Let's subtract that out and see how that looks. See if this is better. This is closer to what? Yeah, that is better. Something got a little funky right here. My two sides are not the same. That's weird because it should be symmetrical.
Que interessant, as the French
Ooh,
would say.
Francais, eh? I don't speak French in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, that doesn't look bad, but I don't understand why it's not symmetrical. So I could investigate that. I could go deep into figuring out why, but I don't want to. So what I'm going to do instead is just come in here. I'm going to find the middle point, drop that straight down. I'm going to come around here, find the middle point, drop it straight down. I'm going to push pull this back to here. Connect that to that and that to that, and then just delete half of it. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. And then grab all of this, triple click, copy it over to here. Oops.
Nice. Keeping it simple.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I wander down the rabbit hole trying to fix things and make them perfect.
You do get the zooming into the pixel effect. Let's see every single.
That's right. Look at every overlap.
Here. Yeah.
Not worth it. Not worth it. All right. So that should give me a symmetric, and then all the four corners should line up. I also soften this edge in the middle, so that should also give me softness there. It should not give me a hard side. Let's try that. Let's trim that. Ah, much better. I'm going to get rid of So this is interesting. This is a thing that I have learned about myself. Me working on me is that I used to love profiles. I mean, it was like the thing that made SketchUp look like SketchUp, having that big, thick profile around as I moved. And I'm finding more and more often, I'm getting rid of it nowadays. It's not bad, but like, it's not the thing I want. So, yeah, I don't necessarily like those, especially as I put new materials on stuff. Then I really start liking that. Yeah. Cool. Yes. See, I like the way this is headed.
Yeah, somebody said it kind of looked like Gaudi earlier. They said that, and yeah, I can see that.
I'll take that.
That was one of the things I think that we originally internally were like thinking about the different styles we could do, and we're like, oh, we could do like Antoni Gaudi, and then Aaron was like, no way. But hey, I ended up right back there. So
if we end up there on accident, I'll take it. But see, keep them guessing. If they don't know where you're going, then they can't blame you for not getting there.
That's a great point.
Yeah. All right. Let's put the platform in. Here's what I'm thinking. I really went high with that. I apologize. I don't know where that came from. I think I want to bottle the platform separate and then see how I want to tie it in. I do want to do more to this. I have some ideas for some ways to kind of make this shape look cool and kind of accentuate it. But not yet. So I want to get my two platforms on here first, because that's going to really show the shape. And then maybe we'll do that. I'm going to do the two platforms. I'm going to do something up here at the top, and then we'll come back and start filling in shapes. I have an idea for how to do something that's kind of a tribute to the original without actually matching the industrial look. All right, so I'm thinking, here's how I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to grab a rectangle. I'm going to hit the up arrow to lock it. I'm going to hit the modifier to draw from the middle. Then I'm going to go find this middle point right here and pull that out till I hit right here. All right, so now that square is exactly all the way around from the center. I should probably grab that and make it a group. And then let's go in there. Let's offset it slightly. I haven't figured out what I want to do with this shape yet, but I want to get that platform in there first. Let's drag it down a little bit. I really got to assign that button, the show
Hide rest model and
hide rest model. I got to get that on here. I have this one. I have show geometry, but hide rest model's not in there. Okay. So I could take that. Now I can play a little bit with, do I want that to go up and down? I want that to cut the pear. I kind of like that. It's also going to give a flat platform for people to stand on in there. I think that's what we got to do there. That was kind of good. All right. A little bit more. And then I'll just take that. We'll borrow that. Go vertical to the bottom of this. Squish that down to whatever height that is. There we go. Then I'll pull one of these sides in so I think it's about right there. And I'll just double click on each of the other three sides. There we go. Now we got our two platforms. Obviously, that just square rectangle, square bot, that shape.
Square? Rectangular prism? That covers it all,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. That prismatic shape. That doesn't go with the flow, right? That doesn't work. So I don't want to keep that, but that's where I want that geometry to sit. Now, what I'm thinking here, I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking what we could do is we could start by rounding off the corners. That could kind of go with it.
Mm-hmm.
We could bring the corners up too, kind of like give it a little bit of a fold, you know, so it kind of like comes up rather than just lays flat. I am messing with the Eiffel Tower, Lars, but it is in nothing but respect. This is a a tribute to the beautiful sculpture and a reimagining with nothing but respect for the original. Look, it's still here. I'm not even touching it. It's love you, stay there, awesome.
Yeah, this is the next block over.
That's right. Yeah, so those are some things I'm thinking of. I think, let me see how this works. I don't know. Here, well, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make this a component. We'll call this the lower platform. Grab it, pull it over here. Come in here. I'm gonna do an arc on here. I'm gonna do the same thing on each of these four sides. And I can pull this down, double click, double click, double click, triple click, and resmooth that. Okay, so that gives me, that works like that. Now I think, so I don't know exactly what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I just want to be straight with you guys. So I'm kind of feeling like so here's what I'm thinking is I want this to taper back. So I want the platform itself to come up counter to the shape that, so the tower's going like this, the platforms that come out like this. And then I kind of want like my corners to rise up, not quite like Japanese, like a torii gate or a Japanese traditional roof, but similar. Around the corners, I just want it to kind of come up. So I was thinking, like, do I use something like True Bend to come in and warp it? That might work okay, but at the same time, I'm kind of want to go with this cut out aesthetic a little bit more and follow that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to take this, I'm going to scale this about the middle, like that. All right, so that's a start. That gets me that piece. Now I'm thinking, I'm going to come in here. Oops. So I'm going to start by welding this together, offsetting it, pulling it up like that. Then grab this rectangle, and then we're going to scale that about the middle until it's in line with that lower section. Something like that. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I've got as far as that first train of thought was willing to take me. Now I made an ashtray. So I'm kind of feeling like what I want to do now, I want to subtract. I want to come in here and I want to cut out the middle like this, right? So I want to come in and go swoop down like that and then come out the other side. But I want to do it on both sides. So I think what I'm going to do, I might
sphere and squash it.
That's what I was thinking, is I'm like, do I do 2 cylinders and drop them in so that I get points coming up between, or do I do a squished sphere?
Oh, right.
I don't know.
It's a great time for experimentation.
That's right. Let's try both. Here, I'm going to delete this.
Oh, Ben also says, shame that the FB comments don't connect. They do. See, I put your comment up on screen. So we're hearing we're reading them. There's just a lot more comments on YouTube. So that's why we've been mostly highlighting those, but Facebook comments certainly show up.
Yes. All right, so I got 2 of these. Let's do both. So I'm going to start with, I'll draw a sphere right here. Grab this. Follow me, click here to read this. And then over here, I'm going to make a couple overlapping cylinders, and then I will make that group. And then some didn't go right there. All of that. Make that a group. All right, so here's another tip for free. When I move something, I hit the modifier key to get a copy. That's easy. If I hit the modifier key and grab a handle, it doesn't make a copy. That can be kind of frustrating because I know I want to spin it around the absolute center, and I know the handles will do that for me. So here's the thing I can do. I can come select this, hit Command C, or go to Edit and hit Copy. Then grab it, move it, and then go up to Edit and paste in place. And then I'll have 2. The copy comes back right where the first one was.
Ooh, I have a tip.
Bring it.
Okay, so try what you just tried with the move tool, but use the rotate tool, and use the rotate those handles with the rotate tool to make a copy.
All right, grab that Q. Option to copy.
I think are you holding? You just need to click once and then.
Yeah. I swear I've done this before. Q, step back.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Option to copy.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I gotcha. Yes. I was. Woo! Look at that.
Yay.
Learning for the win.
Yeah, that's new to SketchUp 2025. And at first I was like, who cares? It's already on the move tool. Why would I ever use the rotate tool for that? And then making a copy, I'm like, oh, this is like perfect. This is exactly what I wanted out of the move grips for move. But yeah, it's on rotate. So
that is such a new feature that I don't think I've really ever, other than I maybe put in a video or something like that, but I'm just used to, you guys know this. Sometimes I program myself, and using the handles is something I still do in Move. But yeah, Matt's right. That's awesome. I gotta reprogram. I'm gonna outer shell those 2. There we go. All right. Now, I'm gonna take this and make this into a group 2. Now, here's what I gotta do. I gotta take this one. I gotta hit not Option, but Command. I got to find the center of the bottom face. There it is. So that is this one right here. I'm going to take that, and I got to line it up with the middle of this. So I'm going to go from the midpoint, pull that over this way, find the midpoint here, pull that over this way. Boom. Now I know that sphere is directly in the center of my tray. Same thing here. And this one's easy because I actually have a snap point right there. Then grab that, bring it over here, center, pull it this way, center, pull it this way, boom, centered. And because the cool thing is because those are on the very bottom, I know they're not going to cut into the bottom of my tray. So the platform is going to stay flat no matter what I do with the rest of this thing. So there's a couple things I need to do now. I'm going to start by scaling this down. I want to squish it real good. I think that'll work. It's got to be bigger though. So I'm going to come here. Hit shift, it's going to go in both directions. So I'm just going to do it this way initially. So I'm going to pull this way till it's, I'll try 1.5. I'm experimenting. 1.5. All right, and that's going to give me that. So here's where I can play with this a little bit more to fine tune, where does it actually intersect, that kind of thing. I don't want to do that from the middle. I want to, and from the bottom, I can take that up and say, where do I want that to hit? So it'd be like right about there. So there's just right about cut off. Let's try that. Let's take that, subtract that from here. Oh, this one's not a solid. What your problem is? Oh, because it's not a group at all. It's just some stuff hanging out. All right, there we go. Take that, subtract it from there to there. All right. See that's pretty good. I like that. I like that way it looks. But let's continue. Let's keep going. All right. So same thing here. I'm going to scale it up, and I'm going to shift scale it up. And I'm just going to keep dragging it up until it overlaps those edges like that. And then take that. Oops, I'm probably going to make this a solid too. Picky. All right. Take that. Subtract. Here. All right. And there we go. There's our, all right, we're to stay inside here. I got that, or I got this.
That's cool.
It is cool, but this is definitely better. We got the nice curves over here. This is kind of, if I had gone with a higher number of sides, it might have been a little smoother, but I still kind of like the way we got this kind of rounded corner. So I think the circle wins.
Cool. Yeah, there's always multiple ways to do stuff, and it's cool to see the different variations of it. Before we get too far away from it, Bill did say, do that again in relation to using the rotate tool to make a copy.
Sure.
Around the middle with the handle.
Sure. I'm just going to grab this piece right here. Make it into a group. Say I want to make this into an X. Rather than using move, I'll use rotate. And if you watch my icon, as soon as I hit the modifier key, I get that little plus on there. And now as I move over a handle, I was clicking and grabbing like you do with move. When you get those handles, you grab on a plus and you drag it. You don't have to do that. Just get my mouse on screen. Excuse me. I'm going to click. And then as I move, it pulls out a copy. And there we go.
Very nice.
I thought I had a sweet teaching moment, but it turns out Matt's like, yeah, you could do that if you want to be dumb.
I'm sure there's some instances where, copying.
Yeah, where you want extra steps. That makes sense.
We had a question from Box here that says, with such large geometry, why not increase the segmentation for a smoother structure?
Yes, that's probably would have been a great idea in the past. Unfortunately, I was not thinking that. I was straight up throwing concepts at the wall. And ideally, especially this bottom one, really would have been nice if I had made that like 96 sides. But
I thought you said at the beginning, you said, because this was made from like iron beams, that's all like segmented. So I just figured you were like, let's continue the segmented look in order to honor the original engineering team.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You can rationalize anything with design. You can just say, oh,
that's right. I think it's all true. It's all true is what I'm going to say. All right. Yeah, I probably should. Box is not wrong. I probably should have. Also, is it like 2 a.m. Box? I mean, shouldn't you be not awake? But no, welcome. We tried to get Box on before. We've played with some stuff that he is very familiar with, so it's nice to see you. You guys don't know who Box is? He is one of our sages, which are one of the learned members of our community who spend their own free time on the forum answering questions, and always a good, nice to see them, to see those guys come in here. So I think I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna scale this, drop it down. Yeah, we'll go to like 3/4 the size and see if that works. Take this in to 0.75. Take this one in 0.75. I like it, but it is giving me Japanese vibes a little bit.
Yeah, I could see that. Kind of looks like a little cowboy hat or something.
Yeah. I'm gonna run with it for right now, but we're only halfway through. So if it turns out that's just too much, we can always come back and burn it to the ground and try again.
There's always time.
It's always destruction is always an option.
Jim says the sages are the best, and
they are.
I totally agree with you there.
Absolutely. All right. I think what I want to do for the top is I want to do a radial array. So the original pokey bit it has like a platform here, almost octagonal, but then a pointy thing. So I want to do something along those lines, but I don't want to, of course, match it. But I want to get something similar to this. So I think I'm going to do fully around, and I kind of want to transform from the square up into the round piece. So I don't know exactly what that means yet, but here's a thing that I'm going to do. All right, so first thing I got to do to make this work, I got to put a circle that goes to here, and then this will be where I start my edge. And I want to do something, like I said, similar to what's here now. So maybe we'll come across like this with a little platform kind of thing. I'm going to take that to the center and come up vertical to wherever the top of this fellow is. Come here. Wow, I made it so sharp I can't even see it.
Wow.
That's a brag,
really
but
sharp.
wow. Yeah. All right. I'm going to take that down to the corner like that. All right, so I want to come up with kind of a cool play on this. So I'm thinking like I'll come in, come out, and then come back in, like something like almost like a figure 8 kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see how this works.
Okay.
Yeah. So as long as it's clear, I don't know what I'm doing. That's the important part. All right. So let's go. I'm going to do something like pull out a circle right here, just as reference. A larger circle right here. Go. I'm going to take an arc from here. Here. And from here. Here. And then maybe from here to here. Something like that. Not something, specifically that.
Exactly that.
Yeah. Then I want to mess with it. I want to play with that some more. I don't have an awesome vision of what I want this to be, but
you're sculpting.
I'm sculpting. I am straight up. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I want a little bit of a bump, but not so much. Kind of want to maybe move this back a little bit. Looks like a lamp.
Wasn't there a light that goes around at the top?
If there's not, there should be. Maybe they will now. All right, so I'm gonna take that. Follow me. All right, now I just made that like a Persian feeling thing. I got a lot of influences bouncing around, apparently, folks.
Yeah, it's the metropolitan, right? The global. Kind of looks like a little candle or something up there too.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's just not what I want. That's not it. I think I know what it is though. I'm gonna undo. All right. I think this is what it is. I'm gonna take this and I'm going to array this. So I want a circular platform, and then I am going to take this piece, give it some width like that. Make that into a component. And then this might go better with the look of this thing. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know.
Well, it's good to try stuff out.
Yeah.
You don't know till you see it. Right. I know it when I see it.
I'll know it when I see it. And I may never know. Important part that people don't. I can come into the middle of the screen. I don't got to hide over there anymore. Still having issues with that. All right, so I'm going to take this, rotate that 45. It's closer. It's closer. I don't know what it is I don't like about it, but there's something. I'm going to undo all of that again. I'm going to take this. I think I know. I think I have an idea. I'm going to take this down to flat. I'm going to rotate this to 45 degrees. I'm going to take like that. Now, I keep saying it's like I know what I'm playing with, but I don't know. I don't. It's all being made up.
We have a couple notes in the chat about the iterations that you've been working on, what people think it looks like. We have a dagger, the spikes on a Roman chariot wheel, the Pope's hat. Very timely.
You mean the Pope from Chicago, Illinois? Sorry, hometown. Got to take pride in for a sec. Not Catholic, but Chicago. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Congratulations to Leo. And yeah, the Christmas story lamp.
Ooh.
So yeah, a lot of visual illusions going on here.
I like a lot of those. All right. I'm gonna make this. So one of the things that happens with, and I don't mean to make this all about a 3D mouse, but this is a solid tip that gets me through a lot of stuff. So when I'm trying to zoom in on a very small space or very small section when I have a very big model, it can be a little clunky. But I have an option set in my settings that says zoom on selection. So if I grab a smaller group of geometry like this, it makes it a little bit easier to zoom in on it. So just a thing. Also,
I do a question earlier, actually. So
okay. Perfect.
Right on the head.
Yes, nailed it. All right. So I'm preemptively chopping the tip down so it should meet up with the other pieces a little bit cleaner. All right. We'll see what happens. I kind of like that. I don't know. I want to spend a bunch of time just sculpting on this thing because I think it could be kind of fun. But let's go ahead and make that a component. We'll call it the topper again. And then I will take that piece. Oh, man. All right. For those of you who missed that, I grabbed this geometry. I right-clicked. Oh, let me grab this too. I right-clicked and I said Make Component. This little check mark is checked off, and it's bitten me 3 times. I still haven't turned it back on. So I'm going to call that a topper again, create that, and that'll throw out that loose geometry and just give me this piece right here, which is what I want. Whew. All right, let's try that. Here, option 90, 3x. That's not exactly what I was hoping for, but that's kind of a cool tip there. I'm gonna run with this because we spent 10 minutes on it. I'm just gonna grab all of those. Oops, it's not solid for some reason. All right, let's go into that. Let's view, hide rest of model, no bottoms. There we go. Solid. And because they're components, I only got to fix one, and they all should follow in suit. Let's make an outer shell of that. Looks kind of cool. And then, like I said, one other thing I want to do is I want to smoothly bring these 2 pieces together. So I'm going to grab this, make it into a group, and then this, and I'm going to temporarily lift that up like that. And then I'm going to draw a new rectangle. Or actually, let's do this. We'll do a circle out to here. Take that circle and push it up to here. And then I will move this point. I gotta break it. Grab a draw an edge from here up to here. From here up to here. So I have a cylinder now, and I'm breaking it every few segments. And then what I can do is I can grab this one point right here, drag it back here. It'll go to flat. And then I have a pretty quick and easy translation at that point from square to circular. I'll come back in here.
Circle gets a square. Very nice.
Everybody wins. Awesome. It's too tall now. I did do that knowing that I would have to squash that down a little bit. Bring that down. Ooh. Let's try that again. Come on down. Come on down. There we go. Down here. Some extra geometry up in that circle thingy. A little coin. Bring that down. And then we'll offset. And I haven't forgotten that this is a safety rail. Whoops.
Safety first, of course.
Always.
Don't want any base jumpers thinking they can get away with something over here.
Not in my Paris. All right, leaks out just a little bit, so I'm going to grab this. And we're going to shrink that down a little bit and then drop it back. All right.
Nice.
We're making something.
Yeah, it's definitely in a different style from the original.
This may be the most confusing thing I've ever built because I don't know what it is.
It's a mashup, you know.
It is a mashup. It is this. Okay, you know what? This is what you get on the forum for not telling me what to do. This is how it turns out. I'm playing. I really seriously like. I don't know, you guys. Again, I know all of you guys use SketchUp for different things, which is so cool. One of the things I love so much about it, and I don't know what everybody uses it here for, but I don't know if you get an opportunity to play regularly and just go in and make stuff. But it is a lot of fun to just go in and start winging it. So I hope you guys do get a chance to do that sometimes.
Yeah, all work and no play. You know, it's not good for anybody. We did have a question about Where is zoom on selection? I think this was related to the 3D mouse. Is that something you can show in the
I can.
settings
1
easily?
moment.
Or
Let's come down here to 3D connection. I forget exactly where it is.
I think you got to switch configure to,
right.
SketchUp.
Oh, I got to switch to the right space mouse. There we go. And then SketchUp and navigation. Use selected item as the rotation center. So if nothing is selected, it just lets you move around. But if you're going to spin on something, that helps. I think maybe it's psychological, and I think checking that box makes it easier. But as far as I can tell, that's a helper.
Yeah, totally. Cool. Thanks for answering that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lars also had a suggestion. Can you try rotating the platform? I don't know if that's to
this one.
Probably. Yeah, the one above is circular, right? So that probably wouldn't do anything. But
all right, yeah. I'm going to find the center of this again real quick by drawing a line right here to here. That should give me the very middle of that point. So if we take that, rotate that to 45 degrees. That really accentuates the
sombrero-ness of it or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate that, but I'm going to undo that. I am thinking, though, I might be able, if I take this and we squash it, so it still flares out, but just not so much, it might. Yeah, I think that helps.
And the original platforms are a lot skinnier. This is your model, obviously. I don't know what actually happened. Isn't there like a restaurant or something on the?
Yeah, this was definitely a victim of the time limit we have, but I believe this one comes out, and this is an observation deck, so this actually has fences that go up all the way around. And yeah, I think there's a restaurant somewhere in this deal right here. But yeah, this was the time we got this far. Yes, that helped a lot. So I still like that we have some flow in there, but I very much appreciate that we don't have Asian roof detail. Okay. You know how sometimes when our buddy Tyson would model, I would tease him about how he kept everything. He'd create a punch, he would use trim, and then he'd set it over here. I wish I had done that, because there's some things I want to do right now that I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do. So thanks a lot, Tyson.
Yeah, Chip Cookie had a comment or a question. How often do you make a copy of geometry before using solid tools? I don't know if the stuff you're talking about was stuff you use for solid tools, or if it was.
Yes. Because what I was thinking was, I want to do some. Basically, I want this face as a projected flat surface that I can go in and do some offsets and create some geometry on that I can then project, because this is not a face. This is a curved surface right now, which means if I turn on my hidden geometry, I'm going to see all these breaks. So in order to use offset or something like that to make shapes that I can play with, I'd have to do some weird things. But I'm looking at this and I'm actually inspired to do something totally different. So never mind. This is what I meant to do the whole time.
Let the inspiration drive you.
Here we go.
Go with the flow.
All right. So what I'm thinking, I want to get some texture on here. So I kind of feel like I was thinking these concentric faces coming in and then kind of push each one in a little bit. So I don't want this to be too time consuming, but I'm kind of thinking something like this. I think this is going to work way better than what I had planned originally, actually.
Okay.
I like this. All right, I got repetitive clicking, so I want to throw a question out for you all. Anybody seen any really enjoyable movies lately? What have you been to that you would qualify as being good? What's a good movie?
Yeah, what's that? I heard Sinners is really good. I've not been to the theater in quite a while, but yeah, if I would.
New baby syndrome.
Yeah. Yeah. 1-year-old, not very good audience. Probably not the intended audience for Sinners, but I heard it's great. You recently saw, what's the new Marvel one?
Yep, Thunderbolts was very good, very fun. But I'll back up Sinners too. That was also good.
Oh, you saw Sinners too?
Yeah.
Right on.
I have a movie pass and go to a movie almost every week nowadays. So I will say
That's the dream, man.
yeah, I got to the other side. Kids are grown, gone. I get to go to movies again.
Oh, 17 years, I'll be right there with you.
That's right. You're just behind me, Matt. All right. So I kind of like how this is feeling. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to. Oh, I gotta. You know what? Push in this one a foot and pushing that one a foot. I like that. We just this week went and saw The Accountant 2. So I don't know if anybody's seen The Accountant. It's a very interesting, unique action movie where Ben Affleck plays a neurodivergent hitman. And it was interesting. It was it's a sequel. And the first one was pretty good. And the second one was quite funny, actually.
Oh, good to hear. That was not what I was expecting you to say.
I didn't expect that either. John Bernthal, if you guys know him, he plays Ben Affleck, his brother, and it's kind of a buddy film. But yeah, it's a fun one.
Very nice. Patrick says he's looking forward to The Accountant too. Chip Cookie just watched Ghostbusters review. It was great.
Always.
Yeah.
Like are we talking the original Ghostbusters? Because nowadays you say Ghostbusters and it could mean multiple things. So
yeah, there's like a lot of different series, right?
Mm-hmm. Series I think is the.
Yeah, that's the French.
That's the plural
from the French root.
Series I. All right. All right. It's getting me somewhere. It's getting me some feelings, but it's not the feelings I was looking for. But I'm not giving up yet. I'm gonna keep working. I'm keep working on this. Again, we only have to do a quarter of it because of what we have going on with the components. It's going in the right direction. I need more though. I need to come in here and add some more. So I don't know if I need to do more offsets or if I need to do some other shapes in here. I don't know. I don't
Make
know.
all that glass, all those big, just panes of glass.
Oh, that actually, hold up. What we got to do is we got to throw some materials in here, and that will fix everything.
Here's how to make stuff futuristic: just structural glass for the entire structure.
I was thinking even simpler than that. I'm going to go in here and make the whole thing shiny silver.
Although that metal material looks like it's not PBR.
It should be.
Oh, weird.
Nope, that's not the same material.
Oh.
Metal. Oh, it's just not turned on. That's weird.
Yeah, while you look into that, Johnny5 says the new series on Apple, The Long Way Home, for all you motorcycle aficionados. He recommends that. Hey, Peter says he likes the new screen appearance and arrangement. Yay, thanks.
We got one.
We've been using the same setup for quite a long time, so we decided to mix it up. It's fun because then we can flip between stuff like this. Ooh, overhead view, me full screen. This is the most important stuff here. And then, yeah. And of course, bring people's comments up, which is fun. So
That's
Nathan on
very cool.
LinkedIn says living facade, a green roof.
Mm.
So greenery could be an aspect you add in here. Randy also is looking forward to what this looks like with ambient occlusion and an environment on. Maybe he doesn't like the current environment.
Yeah, let's play with the environment for just a second because I want to do two things actually. I'll leave that. We'll come back to that. Couldn't tell what that was. I had a pattern in there, but so this is life size ish. I think if I recall correctly, when we did this, we ended up scaling to the proper height, which somebody out there can verify this. I'm sorry, I'm going to say this in feet and not meters. It's just over 1,015 feet tall. Somebody wants to double check on that. But what that means is a couple things. One is materials are going to come back looking maybe a little bit repetitive because it's such a big space. The other thing is I've been modeling with ambient occlusion on this whole time, but because we're so far back, we're not getting the effect of it very much. So you can see right here where these two pieces meet, there is that ambient occlusion right here in this crack. So we can actually go in here to styles, we'll go to our faces, and let's bring it up. Let's make it more intense. Let's really drama it out. But you can see because it is such a big building, that little ambient shadow doesn't have the effect that it does on a smaller or on a smaller piece. Ambient occlusion doesn't scale. I can't tell it to be 3x or 4x or 5x or anything like that. It's all relative to the actual surfaces in the model. So something to note, which we didn't know before. Now you know.
Yeah, and materials, same way. Materials have a real world dimension assigned to them by default. Obviously, when you go into the face and say, position texture or texture position, then you can change that. But by default, when you look at the materials, they have a certain size associated with them.
That's too much already. All right, let's try a different environment. See if we can find something that lights this thing up a little more. So each of these environments has not only a different sky dome, but an actual different lighting scenario too. So we can get, I'm going to do this. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to turn sky dome off. That way we can just, oh no, it's going to turn on as I flip each one. That makes sense. But we can see, like, so as we flip through this is really cool because not only is the direction of the light, the intensity of the light change as you do this, but also the color of the light, right? So if I have something nice blue sky versus something where much warmer in the woods kind of thing. But yeah, so I can flip through here and find the lighting. I kind of like that indoor light. That was kind of, which one was that? That's kind of cool. It's coming from the back. It's backlit. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm just clicking at this point, just clicking away. All right, so that's nice, but I'm going to go with this one for a second and do some fine tuning. Again, I don't really want the sky dome so much. I'm not really worried about that. I can come in here and I can kind of rotate around and see how do I want this to hit.
One thing I think too, when you put the materials on, I defaulted the metalness and the roughness all the way up.
Yeah.
So that would probably change stuff too, especially on that metal material.
Yeah.
The gray one.
Very, very, bring my screen back up. Home.
Diffuse.
Right. So I could come in here and I could. Ooh, so a little bit of roughness because we want the white light to catch. You can see how, yeah, like something like that. The metalness is weird too because you'd think with metal you just crank it up. I want metal, but too much can actually cause like interference of the light where it starts to look like it's glowing instead of just being reflective. So yeah, Matt's absolutely 100% right. You do want to make sure you fine tune some of this stuff. Let's get this Then on here, same thing. Too rough is not going to reflect as much, and too metally is going to be almost glowy, or glowy, or some of them look like tar or oil or something, you know, like really dark. So
Oh, yeah.
that looks cool. Ooh, yeah. I don't know if you guys ever see those videos on like social media where somebody does a progression of a certain thing, like here's what shoes look like from invention future, then it's AI generated, and it goes, and there's always this year, it's like the 2050s or forward, everything gets shiny and then colorful and then reflective. So everything we're gonna in the future, it's all gonna be just reflective rainbow materials. Everything. Beds, cars, shoes, jackets, it's all going that way if social media is right about anything. Okay.
Yeah. This is your style tip if you want to look if you want to look hip in 50
In
years,
the future. That's right.
25 years. Yeah, get your shiny stuff now.
I won't look at this without just materials.
Yeah, looks cool. Looks like I could blind somebody if they're walking down.
Oh yeah.
Sitting at the cafe and some Parisian yeah.
All right. Thoughts. What do we got? We got half an hour left, so we got time to do some final fine tuning.
Let's see. We have some comments about the form. That first level could be a nice pool deck.
Ooh.
Plenty of room for a nice slide and high dive. Yeah, it's pretty big. Randy would like to see some of the big squares punched out or turned into lattice work or glass.
Yeah. Like
some people said it kind of looks like Mr. Peanut or Mr. Potato Head or something, especially the hole above the
the shape.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll own that.
Cutout shape. But yeah, materials can definitely add a significantly different.
Something is happening.
Oh.
I will have to go
It's
remove
like a space elevator.
Yeah.
Somebody did I think mention that in the forum thread, maybe. We could reimagine the Eiffel Tower as the base of a space elevator.
Don't hate that. All right, so I got a couple things happening here. So I got some back face stuff happening, which is not awesome, but I can fix that easy enough. One thing I do want to do, I don't necessarily want to see all the way through this. I want to just kind of have something back behind there. So I'm trying to think of what the best way to do that is. A couple things that are coming to mind right now. I want to start with this back face thing. I accidentally colored all the back faces to that window, so that's why I got that weird tiled pattern. I don't know where that was coming from, but so that fixes that. All right, that's not. I don't hate that. I kind of
it looks cool.
I'm feeling that a little bit. I don't think this is the right one.
Yeah, kegification. We were talking about the reflection off the building. Says that there was a building in London that reflected so much heat it melted the interiors of cars parked nearby.
Yes, Death Ray building. That is so cool. I love it.
Yeah, you didn't know where you're going to end up with the design today, but yeah, Death Ray is a fun place to.
Can't believe none of our watchers threw that out there. Turn it into a Death Ray, Aaron. Would have done it, or might have did it. So that looks kind of cool. So something I want to consider. I'm trying to think how much work this is going to be, but I'm gonna do it just to play with. So this, obviously, if we do glass, there's a couple things I could do. I come into glass, and I could up the opacity a little bit, so I can't, so I can kind of see through, but can't really. That helps a little bit, but I still see those back walls, right? I still see the spots back behind there where I can see into it. So if I just want reflection, I could slide this all the way up, but then, it gives me a reflection, but it doesn't look like glass, because glass you can see something through. So one of the things I can do with glass, just as an idea to play with this, if I take this surface and I just give it a little push-pull, I'm sorry, an option push-pull, just pull it through like a little bit like that. Oops.
That's a good idea.
So that's going to give it something to show behind, but not let me necessarily see into the unfinished structure of the interior. So now we will have to come in here, give me some opacity back. What happened? Oh, I might have. Dang, I keep doing this. I gotta. I just made everything. Oh, this is the back side. Okay, I know what I did. All right. How do I get this all back where I want it? Let's give this a dark color. No. How do I do this without messing here? I'm gonna do quick and dirty. I'm gonna grab all of my planes of glass. I'm gonna group them. I'm gonna hide it. And I'm gonna come in here with a darker color. I'm gonna just color all the connected pieces the same color. We'll see how this looks. I don't know. I'm playing at this point.
At this point.
All right, so now I should be able to come in here. There we go. Now I can bring that opacity up, my reflectivity, my roughness, play with that till I get the right sheen on there. And then if I do it right, I can tell it's glass. I can see that something's behind there, but I can't necessarily see all the way through the structure. So quick tip, just a quick cleanup. Obviously, the best solution is to go in and model everything on the inside, and then I'm good to go. But something like this, where I got an hour and a half to make a 1,000-foot tower. Did anybody figure out how tall it really is?
Yes. We have, let me scroll up. Randy says 1,083 feet, or
pretty close.
330 meters.
1,083.
Feet.
1,083 feet. Whoa.
Wait, how much did you type in? Oh, yeah.
I thought I said I was at 1015 before, didn't I?
Maybe they made some changes to it since you modeled it.
Maybe. It is 1015. Okay, so yeah, I guess 70 feet's a significant amount. All right, take that, and I'm going to scale it vertically. I'm going to just stretch it a little bit. All right.
Nice. Definitely better than the old one because it's bigger. It's taller.
Yeah. You're garbage. That was harsh. Sorry. All right. I don't know what style this ended up being at all.
It's your own style. You get to name it.
Style. Yeah, this is all me, baby. But I made a metal, which is futurish. With glass and silvery steel in here. Yeah, and bent curvy steel too. So that's what it is. It's good. It's good. It's something. Yeah. Yeah, this was fun. This is definitely a fun thing to do. I could see us doing this some more with some of the old buildings we've made, if we can get a definite direction. Because yeah,
We were gonna you were gonna choose one of the styles
it
from the
was.
forum thread. That was the original plan, right?
I really should have. But I was hoping to have like an outstanding winner. Like somebody's just like, yeah, let's go with whatever.
Yeah. I
That
should have
didn't
done
really
a poll,
happen.
I guess, instead of just comments.
Yeah.
Next time. This is a learning
Yeah.
experience.
There you go. So we did uh well, like we pointed out, we're trying a whole bunch of new stuff this time. So we got a whole new platform we're doing, whole new all the things. So yeah. So this was a good one. I think this is an okay one to play with. This was made a lot of sense for just going in and messing around, and turned out all right, I think.
Yeah, I think it's cool. It's definitely recognizable as the Eiffel Tower
That's
or
yeah.
a version and
At Eiffel Tower.
reinterpretation. And it's definitely distinct from the original.
Yeah.
And it's certainly a new style. There's no getting around it.
Nope, that's something that has not been seen before.
Yeah, it's cool. Catching up on a couple of the comments here. We did have a question earlier about 3D Arc Interior from YouTube says, make a video about your desk setup with love from India. So I think let me get the overhead camera back up here.
Sure.
Some people are interested to see this in more detail.
Yeah, can you go any wider, Matt? I'll give you a rundown of the whole place. See how big we can go. Maybe not. We might be at the. Nope, that's it. All right, I can play cameraman here. It's okay. All right, so this is the essential piece right here. So the essential chunks right here. I do everything on my laptop. My laptop is not super high end or anything. It is I don't want to say off the shelf because I don't think you can buy computers off the shelf anymore. It's ordered from Apple Store, but it is a MacBook Pro. It's 2.5 years old. Pretty much standard, except I always request 32 gigs of RAM rather than 16, which is the stock. But other than that, I mean, there's nothing special about the machines we use to model. We don't use super high-end machines or anything like that. So this is just a standard machine right here. I do have, like I said, my 3D mouse. So right now I'm using, I called this out at the beginning. This is the Space Mouse Pro Wireless. I either have this or my much larger Space Mouse Enterprise. I know somebody called out at the beginning that seemed like it was big to travel with, but you can see it is significantly smaller than the Enterprise, and it does come with a travel case. So zipping this up and dropping into my bag, my backpack that I travel with, is going to be pretty easy when next time I travel.
Yeah.
So those pieces, wire management issue, and then of course my mouse. My mouse is a Logitech MX Master S3. I love this because it has so many programmable buttons, but also fits my hand very well. This is one of my favorite. These two guys right here, my best hardware. I love these two.
Name a better duo. MX Master and yeah.
Maybe Matt and Aaron, but I don't know.
Enterprise Wireless. Name a more iconic duo.
So
and
then
the Stream Deck too.
Yeah, just off screen, the stuff that you just can't see because it's just past the cameras. This is my Stream Deck. I use this for recording videos. This lets me just kind of jump through different scenes and tell OBS to record and that kind of stuff. So I don't have to like use my mouse to go off screen and click. I can tip this back just a little bit, my overhead, and it's going to be upside down. I apologize. But there's my microphone, and right above that is the camera I'm talking into. So those sit on some various, I don't know what you call them, things. Booms and such. And then over here, I'm fully committing to the Vertigo at this point. Over here is my second monitor, 24-inch monitor. That sits right there. And that's Boba Fett down below. And yeah, that makes up the bulk of my setup, really. I got a couple of lights beyond that. So there is one overhead light that shines down right here. I have a light over that shoulder that hits my green screen. Another room light over there just kind of brighten me up. Yeah, that's everything. So pretty simple setup, really. That's my desktop. I know it wasn't a video, but that's what we got. We got that right now.
Yeah. Kegi says, what happened to the plywood desktop? If you've seen streams from long ago or videos, we have so that was Aaron's home studio is what you saw. That's his work at home studio setup. We also have a setup in the office, which has, that kind of stand up plywood desk that you may have been familiar with a long time ago. And so that's in the office. It's still there.
And there was a second plywood desk, which was when COVID first hit and we got sent home. I had a folding table with a sheet of plywood on it out in my garage. So
okay,
there was. So I don't know which one you're talking about, because we do have both. We have done some videos where you can see the studio, which is very nice. That was nice plywood. The thing that was my garage desk was not as nice. That was
Okay. That's going way back. I need to go back and watch the COVID streams.
That's right. Yeah. Jody and I, that's when we started. I was looking through the streams. At this point, we're just hanging out. So if you're one of those people who's going to come in and comment, oh, just model and don't talk so much, we're past it. We're done. Maybe some modeling will happen later. But we had a point where for a while we were doing 3 to 4 hour streams every week. And that was kind of the standard for a long time. So I look back at some of the older models we had, and there was a lot more detail in them because we had twice as much modeling time. When COVID hit, we started doing more streams. We did up to 3 streams a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but we did cut them down to 2 hours. And we kind of stuck with that when we moved here, or when we moved out of that. We don't have the bandwidth to stream 3 times a week now. But we stuck with the 2 hour format. And again, I've thrown this out before. Yeah, if there's anything specific that you guys think like, oh yeah, it'd be great if we did another hour, if we start an hour earlier. We always love hearing that. If we get a consensus, then we'll try to make that happen. But yeah, we've been doing 2 hour streams for the last couple of years, and seems to work pretty good.
One kind of common theme seems like people want you to bring back the folding plywood table as your desk.
Yeah, I am sitting. So you guys will notice that I am on a green screen. Remember the old setup that we used way back last week? We would key out this desktop, so it would just be my stuff floating on there. And I was talking to Matt before the stream, and I said, if we want to get rid of this green and do something more neutral, we can do that. And he said, well, what's underneath there? And then it is it's a glass table or a glass desk. So underneath that is my legs. So
yeah, that doesn't show well on camera.
Especially when I start wearing shorts to work. That's not what people want to see. Yeah, hey, I don't know how plywood's always possible, I suppose. I could slap a 1/4 inch piece of plywood on top of this, and yeah, we could be back in that space.
Cool. Some comments about length. Some people saying 2, some people saying 3. We've done polls on YouTube before that ask those kind of questions. So maybe we'll keep doing that if there's enough desire for switching up the format or changing stuff up. Happy to, we, as Aaron would say, we like making these videos a lot, but we like them even more when they're showing something you want to see. Thank you.
Like voiceover.
Yep.
Yeah. And tying into both those points, Jim on YouTube just asked where Matt is at. Matt's actually 2 time zones east of me. I mean, he's here, but also he's also way over there. So doing a longer thing would probably mean starting a little earlier, because Matt doesn't want to be wrapping up his Friday at 6 p.m. because we want to do a little longer stream. So something to consider too is that starting time. We start at noon Colorado time, just because I can tell you exactly why. This has become kind of just a Q&A. I love it. When we started, I don't know if Matt, you remember this. We started with doing these streams at the recommendation of an SEO company we were working with. They told us to get on Twitch. They said, turn on a camera and model the DeLorean time machine or the Millennium Falcon or something else. That was what they told us to do. And that was one of my questions when you do it. He goes, do it at noon and then see if going earlier or later is better. So we did that. And we actually spent hours modeling a very low quality Millennium Falcon, Matt and I.
Well, I was there, but you did all the modeling.
I knew even less about streaming or any of this than I do now. So yeah, you took on the unknown part.
I think the model turned out good. I mean,
okay.
That was like 12 hours or
12 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet I could do better right now in a couple hours than we did with 12 hours then, but live and learn. Randy's telling us about his setup. He watches the stream in his living room, TV, and comments via iPad. I love that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's the 21st century right there. Speaking of the future.
And I got a question about my system. What system am I using right now? That's not the window I want.
I think Patrick was talking about streaming system.
Oh,
perhaps.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So for streaming, right now we're using Restream Studio. So last week and previously, we used OBS for all of our scene setups and everything, and routing audio and video through. And we used Restream to multi-stream to different platforms, but they also have this built into the platform where you can add your own sources that way and cut out OBS, which, if you've been following the stream recently, Aaron has had some internet connectivity issues, and we don't know if it's something with OBS or what. So partially just out of curiosity to see what Restream Studio offered, and partially to try to, clean out the gremlins and the ghosts in the machine.
Simplify the process.
Yeah, we decided to give this a shot. So
this is also going to give us an opportunity to maybe do some different stuff. We've always talked about, having more people or multiple people modeling, and that's not impossible with OBS, but it's a lot of setup. We've talked about different ways to do it and streaming through machines and that kind of thing. There was not a quick and easy, smooth way that we wouldn't be experiencing even more lag and that kind of thing. The easiest solution we've ever come up with was when Tyson, Eric, and I all modeled, because we were in the office and we literally stepped in and out of the studio to model.
That was fun.
It was fun. It was fun. But it's not that convenient to try to do that like on a regular basis. But with this, we could get away with it much easier. There's a much quicker, better solution through Restream than what we had before. So we'll see. We don't know exactly what we're gonna do with it, but we have some options.
Yeah, let us know if that's something you'd be interested in. If you have any ideas for, having guests on, or we thought about multiple people modeling at the same time, or maybe, working in the same model through Trimble Connect or something, and then kind of working on the same project, and we check in with their status as they go or something. Or just having guests on to do a regular SketchUp live stream and doing the DeLorean or whatever.
Or even just commenting, getting some various experts in who maybe all right, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but there's a big difference that I have experienced between being really good at modeling in SketchUp or knowing things like architecture or design and sitting down for 2 hours and modeling whilst talking. Again, this is not a bragging thing. This was something I learned as I spent time with Tyson and Eric, who were two, and with Matt, three of our previous, not three other modelers that, it's different. It's different from just answering a SketchUp question or sitting down one-on-one with somebody and showing them something. So we want to be conscious of the fact that we could get some really smart, experienced SketchUp people in, but them sitting down and modeling live might not be the best use of having them available to us. So this gives us more opportunity. So in this situation, we could have somebody from their home office hop on with a talking head and answer questions, give advice, that kind of stuff, without saying, okay, 2 hours, it's all you, go.
Yeah.
It can be a little rough.
Yeah. That's a good point. I hadn't really thought of that, of having like a extra commentary, the color person, but they're,
That's right.
they're an expert in the field, the Tom Brady, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody with battle scars who can get in there and talk about it, talk about the real stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Box is offering to step in, and we'll hit you up on that, Box. I'll message you on the forum. That would be fun. I'd love to hear it. I know, like I said, Box, those guys don't know, is in Australia, so I believe it's a close to 12-hour difference, might be even 14 hours, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's at 4:55 earlier a.m. was.
Woo.
So
I wouldn't offer that, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's early.
Yeah. And Lawrence is saying he'd like a total noob doing the model. And we can send you a link to Matt's first live stream.
We can send you a link to Matt's last live stream.
No. Matt's self-deprecating humor right there. Matt did step in intentionally. We wanted to get, a new person's take on modeling. And he walked in, and Matt's been using SketchUp on and off for a long time, but never like sat down to teach somebody or something like that. And he doesn't come from a design background where he's using design software specifically. So it was a very different twist from like what I did or what Eric would have done in the past. So it was very cool streams. I like them a lot because for me, it was kind of a look back and like, yeah, that's important. We should spend time on that. We should think about that. And actually, some of the videos I did about the time that he started streaming reflect, the missing pieces in my workflow because I don't think about those things. So
that's cool to hear.
Yeah, I very much appreciate it. It was awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, I just assumed nobody got anything out of those streams, but I was filling time. We had the show must go on. So
sure.
But yeah, no, I had a lot of fun being in the modeling seat, even if it's not too often. But
yeah, I appreciate the break.
Yeah, pretty much. I was actually we were just recently tallying up all the videos that were on the channel, and I was wondering what percentage of them are created by you, because there's like over 3,000 videos, and I'm like, these are probably like 2,800 Aaron videos. That's a body of work,
It was, it's just a little, it's 1,000 little cuts though. It's just a little bit at a time. I think 1,000 cuts is a negative thing. So no, it's a positive version of what death by 1,000 cuts are. Life by 1,000 videos. I don't know. I'm stopping. I did want to, crap, I lost it. Oh, no, I did want to talk about one of the things somebody has asked was like, because Matt has co-hosted my stream probably more than anybody. And then I think I've co-hosted once or twice with Matt, and somebody asked why I don't co-host with Matt more often. And it is straight up because if I stream the last 3 and there's an opportunity to like not talk on a Friday afternoon for 2 hours, I usually go, hey, Donovan, you want to co-host? So it's not about me not wanting to spend time with Matt at all. It's just I don't get Fridays off very often. So yeah. But we have them for, and it's always been a good time.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. But yeah, no, I'm happy to do it with whoever. But yeah, no, you deserve you have a well-deserved break anytime you want it from the channel, because
it's an easy thing to do because don't tell my boss, but it's not really work. It's usually fun. It's like to model a Cobra or a video card or something.
Next week, the Cobra again.
So let's talk about next week, though, for real. So you guys have seen we plugged this in before, and Matt can throw a link into the comments. But we are doing this thing called the Design Sprint Challenge. The full rules are going to be up on the site, but the idea is thinking forward, like we did today. Oh, here, where's that? Am I pointing the right way? Am I reversed? Okay,
you got it on that, yeah.
Right. Like we thought today, we're thinking forward to the year 2050 and what should architecture and design look like. So you have an opportunity to model an interior, exterior, or landscape space of 500 square feet. And think about what that looks like. What does sustainability look like? What does durability? What does that look like? The future of architecture and design. You can do this a couple different ways. You can just make something 500 square feet. We have a couple of templates available that you can actually download, and you can design off of them too. This is a really cool opportunity. There is a cash prize if you turn in the best thing, but the hook, the limiting thing here is you have 60 minutes to work on it. So you can download things from 3D Warehouse. You can leverage colors, materials, whatever you want, but you need to make a fresh new design, spend no more than 60 minutes on it, and come up, what does that look like to you? So join us. Everybody here has enough experience with SketchUp. You should be able to do this. You don't have to be a professional energy consultant or anything like that to do this. You don't have to be a professional engineer, architect. All you have to do is be thinking about what does sustainability look like? What is the future of design? And come in and do that and send it in, and you could win $5,000. So
$5,000, baby. 5 big ones.
Money. I can't win or even enter, but I'm still going to come back here next week. I'm going to take one of those templates we have, and we're going to set a stopwatch for exactly 60 minutes. And I am going to, with your help, hop in and make that model, that 2050 model. What I want to do is I'm going to do a little bit of thinking ahead, but I want to spend the first half hour, something like that, with you guys coming up with ideas for what this means. What do we include? What kind of things do I want to download? What do I want to show in my model? I need you guys to show up, bring your ideas, bring energy efficiency, sustainability, all that stuff. Bring it, and you're going to help me make a award-winning design that can't be considered for the award. It's going to be fun.
Award-deserving design.
That's right. Amazing.
Your own, yeah.
Yeah. If
one world.
As not a member, voting member, yeah, I can't vote for it anyhow, so it doesn't really matter. But we'll just put it. We'll come up with a name, a fake name for the SketchUp community, maybe SCOMU or I don't know. I'm done. It's gone. I'm finished. It's over.
SCOMU is the peak. But yeah, no, there is some inspiration on the website too. If you're trying to get kind of an idea of what other folks, how they've interpreted the challenge, or yeah, come back next week and see what Aaron puts together. So that's going to be an exciting one for sure. It's only an hour, right? So you're going to have to basically be double speed of a regular live stream.
That's right. I gotta get 2 hours of design in. So that's what I say. We'll spend some time up front pre-designing, and then we'll hit it hard for 1 hour. Yeah, it's gonna be fun though. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a good time. The design sprint, I mean, the challenge itself is very cool. It's a fun idea. So get in there. Send us some models. I can't remember if you can enter more than once, but that's all on the details are over there. But try it out.
Yes, I posted the link in the chat, so go there for more info.
Awesome. Well, hey, we'll call it with that. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Thanks for helping with this redesign. Thanks for muddling through this with me. Let us know closing thoughts. Like, was this fun? Would this be? I think this would be more fun if we did. And this, I dropped the ball on this. I was supposed to do this, and I didn't get a chance to. But if we had a specific style, if we said, okay, this is going to be. Bam! This is this one specific style. I think that would have made it a little easier than just kind of dreaming something future-y. So,
I think it turned out cool for styleless. Not having a distinct end in mind, but I thought it turned out pretty cool. So I think good job by you.
Yeah. So maybe we'll try it again, but we'll modify the rules a little bit. But really, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a great week next week, and hopefully we'll see you right back here next Friday. Tell your friends about the Design Sprint Challenge and tell them to come check out what it all is about next Friday. We'll be right here noon Mountain Time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for watching, folks. Take it easy.